The struggle at the airport. Summer 2023. O'Hare International Airport, Chicago. George and his wife, Linda, were headed to Mexico for a long-awaited vacation. Their travel packages, boarding passes, and everything else were in perfect order. But when they reached the airport, an unexpected problem arose. A flag was triggered in the system for Linda's passport. George, a successful attorney who knew his rights well, tried to clarify the situation. He explained, argued, and showed documentation, but the TSA agent insisted there was a restriction on Linda's record. In truth, it was a case of mistaken identity. Someone with a similar name had a travel ban, and Linda had been incorrectly flagged. "This is a mistake. My wife hasn't broken any law. Let us through," George shouted. Linda sat down, crying silently. Chaos was starting to build. George became increasingly assertive, citing legal articles and warning about consequences. Nearby passengers started recording the scene on their phones. A supervisor was called. Minutes later, the airport's chief security officer arrived. George calmly and clearly presented his legal case, proving Linda was being unlawfully delayed. The officer checked the system himself, and indeed, it was an error. "We apologize. This was a system fault," the officer admitted. George held Linda's hand tightly, leaned closer, and whispered, "I would never leave you behind." They boarded just before the doors closed. Passengers on the plane applauded as they walked to their seats. A new day begins. After takeoff, neither George nor Linda could relax. Linda wiped away her tears, gazing out the window. Her voice trembled. "You were really willing to go through all that for me?" George nodded, eyes steady. "You're my wife. You're safe with me." A journalist sitting a few rows behind them had captured the entire scene at the gate. By the time the plane landed, a video titled "True Love Defeats the System" had gone viral on TikTok. Once in Mexico, the hotel staff recognized them and upgraded their room to a luxury suite for free. Reporters and talk shows reached out nonstop, requesting interviews. One night, as they sat on the beach drinking fresh coconut water, Linda said softly, "I think I fell in love with you all over again." Sometimes the best people in your life prove themselves when it's hardest. George smiled, but he was thinking about something deeper. When they returned home, he decided to take legal action, not just to defend Linda, but to prevent others from going through the same. Justice and love. When the court case began, George represented himself as the lead attorney. He didn't attack the individuals but challenged the flawed system that caused harm. His passionate speech in court drew national attention. His video testimony was shared on multiple platforms. Eventually, the TSA reformed its identity verification system, implementing triple-check protocols for passport flags. Linda, inspired by their experience, launched a women's rights foundation to support other women facing travel restrictions or administrative injustice. Their love story, born in legal struggle and defended in public, became a quiet revolution. What began with a denied boarding pass turned into a global conversation about protection, justice, and what it means to stand up for the people you love.